Do you know who the original inhabitants of the United States were? They are known as the First Nations peoples, and they include many tribes spread across this vast land, including the Cherokee, Navajo, Lakota, Delaware, Spokane, Apache, and so many more tribes. Did you know that all of these tribes had historical traditions describing the Great Flood recorded in Genesis? Remarkably, traditions of this global flood have been among over 120 tribes from the continental United States, to say nothing of the rest of the world. Almost every tribe of which we have real historical data has a memory of the Great Flood. Make no mistake, these traditions do not speak of a local flood or some generic flood story. They match the Noahic flood account on several specific details. There can be no doubt that they are referring to the flood of Noah, described in Genesis. Amongst 120 different tribes that I have visited in North and South and Central America, not a tribe exists that has not related to me distinct or vague traditions of such a calamity, in which 1, or 3, or 8 persons were saved above the waters, on the top of a high mountain. George Catlin, early 19th century explorer and painter. This expansive array of flood traditions, documented in my book Echoes of Ararat, is exactly what we would expect to find if the biblical account is true. This unequivocal body of evidence demands an explanation. It will be found that the only explanation that will do it justice is the truth of the Genesis record in light of the sheer volume of these tribal traditions, their antiquity, and the specific details with which they match the Genesis account. Beginning in Arizona, the Havasupai possess ancient rock carvings at Spirit Mountain, long predating the arrival of Europeans, which recount the flood and depict 8 survivors. They narrate the history thus: rains fell on the earth for 45 days. The rising waters wiped out all peoples with the lone exception of an old man atop Spirit Mountain. Then a bird was sent out, and on its second flight it returned with grass in its beak to inform the man that the waters had receded. This remarkably matches what Genesis says. Again Noah sent the dove out from the ark. Then the dove came to him in the evening, and behold, a freshly plucked olive leaf was in her mouth. And Noah knew that the waters had receded from the earth. Genesis 8:10-11. The Havasupai, another tribe inhabiting the Grand Canyon area, said that one girl survived the flood inside a hollow, floating tree, which is their version of the ark. In this hollow tree God placed food and other necessities, and also made a lookout window. The Tohono O'odham of Arizona told that Montezuma, their Noah, was forewarned that the flood was coming to destroy all living things upon the earth. Heeding this warning, he built a boat, in which he survived the deluge, and his boat, on the subsidence of the waters, rested on the topmost summit.